but I cannot help but notice the hesitance in his voice. Even though he stares at me without expression, I think I can see a tinge of worry on his eyes. Rest assured that we will keep the princess safe. We're not going to let Alcaster get away with what he did to NGL and its royal family. Parfait steps forward last. She and Delore glance at each other, and I feel as if some secret message bounces between the two of them. Delora nods ever so slightly before Parfait turns to the rest of us. Her eyes eventually fall on me. You've changed since you've been here, Princess, but your dedication and resolve never wavers. It has always been there, just beneath the surface. Stubbornness or resolve? As if Parfait is able to read my thoughts. She smiles, and as she sets a hand on my shoulder, your dedication is very much like King Gennaro's. You are proud and honorable, and always take steps in the right direction. That is why I know you will be back tonight. Just as Rumpel said, we will all be waiting for you, all of you. Stay safe tonight. I nod my head as everyone gathered around begins to repeat their hearty goodbyes. It is Delora who walks away first. We all follow behind. The night has just begun. Our way to the palace gates is uneventful, but we pause some distance away from them to take shelter in a nearby alley. There are knights everywhere. Waltz points to what looks like a regular section of the wall. There's the hidden door to the tunnels. If we time it right between the knights' patrols, we should be able to make it. On my single. Single? Signal! I meant signal, guys! Claude puts a hand on my shoulder and squeezes. It is an abrupt gesture that doesn't last long, but the motion calms my nerves somewhat. We will be fine. Our footsteps echo in the tunnel. Standing in front of me are Urian and Garland, who are flanking Waltz. Delora stands beside me, and Claude is at my back. This small tunnel makes it seem like we brought a lot of people. This way. We silently follow Waltz's instructions. How does Waltz know where to go? Yeah! How is it that Waltz knows about these tunnels? I've already taken into account the guards and where they might be positioned based on Prince Rod's information. We should be alright. Garland and I will act as distractions if needed. Why are they not wearing any armor? I'm gonna assume that they are, and the artists just didn't have enough funding to make that change in their design. Princess, leave most of the fighting to us if there's any to be done. I know. I will only fight if I need to. If only if I wasn't cursed, I would be able to fight to my full extent. Just think, you're still quite capable without your magic, puppeteer. Oh, compliment? It's an honor, Miss Karma. I'm only dressed in this because of Urian, you know. Urian crosses her arms and cocks an eyebrow at Claude. I wouldn't fall in love with you no matter what you say. That's what they all say. We're here. Suddenly everyone goes quiet. I feel a lot heavier as I stare at the staircase in front of me. This should lead to the throne room. I didn't know we had a secret passage into the throne room. How much does Waltz know about the palace? Immediately after we step into the throne room, we split apart to avoid the guards' gazes. I stick close to Claude and Waltz as Delora conjures a blanket of shimmering fog that envelops the guards. I watch as the guards' eyes close before they slump to the ground. What's a good song for this? Sure. No, that. Sure. I watch as the guard's eyes slump. Delora drops her hands once all the guards are truly asleep. Amazing how intolerant humans are to magic. Let's keep going. Getting through the palace is no easy feat. Hallways that were easy to get through before are difficult to traverse. Now, with all the soldiers standing around, Delora casts a spell to silence our footsteps into quiet muffles, but moving is still quite difficult, especially with such a group. Eventually, we arrive just outside the tunnels that should lead to the castle's prison. I'll stand watch. Be careful, Waltz. I will. We enter another network of tunnels. Urian, Garland, after you. Urian glances at me briefly, and then at Claude, who nods a little stiffly. We'll be right back. In accordance with the plan, Claude and I are left in the hallway in the halfway point of the tunnels to ensure a clean escape as Delora, Urian, and Garland continue on to the prison. They should be fine, but I'm still worried. My eyes wandered to Claude and I bite down on my lower lip when I notice that his hand is once again raised to his chest. I find myself reaching out to grab Claude's hand, but he swiftly puts it away. The glare on his face takes me by surprise. Why is he so angry? Claude puts a hand to his chest and flinches as he leans on the wall. Not now. His voice sounds pained. What's he talking about? Claude? I just need some space, Princess. But I'm fine. I cannot help but feel irritated at the way Claude has snapped at me. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be this way. He trails off, his eyes distant. Because of your curse. Right. Most of the time he's sociable and a pleasure to talk to, but then he reverts to this state. It is like he's two different people. I cannot understand why he is like this. Why do I care so much for someone who keeps secrets? Lucette, I wish I could explain it, but if I did, you would hate me. Or more accurately, you would be afraid of me. Nah, what is there to be afraid of? Claude wears a pained expression as he looks at me. I see him once again grabbing at the collar of his dress, looking like he's in some kind of quiet agony. That's what she said too. Is he talking about the woman before? The one who didn't love him? He thinks I'm the same? I am not like her. Lucette. Claude's voice trails off at the sound of running. His hand quickly moves to the hilt of his sword just as I reach for mine. We only relax when we see Urian, Garland, and Delora heading towards us. Why are they alone? Where are the king and queen? They weren't at the prison. I have no idea where else they could be. Delora steps out from between the two of them, her expression somber. This doesn't bode well for us at all. We can't keep sneaking around that direction. Without a direction. That's a sure way to get caught. The words have just left her mouth when the alarm sounds behind us. Don't tell me. It's the alarm. Everyone draws their weapons as Waltz appears, running towards us with a harried expression on his face. The knights are on their way. How did they know we were here? In seconds, I hear the clanking of metal, and then there are knights upon us. We are forced to scatter to deal with different opponents. A guard rushes at me with his sword, and I somehow manage to block his attack. I should be able to wind around him. Don't give me a choice. Thank you. The knight falls after I catch him from behind and give Claude an opening to attack him. Lucette! Stay behind me. I promised I would, remember? Let's keep it that way. A smile flashes across his face. And for a few moments, he seems more like the Claude I know. The knight manages to separate Claude and I, leaving me by myself. He grabs my arm. Unhand me! What? I watch in shock as a shimmering fog surrounds my attacker, his eyes closing as he slumps to the ground. He is only the first to fall. Seconds later, most of the knights in my immediate vicinity have fallen to the ground. I can tell by the subtle rise and fall of their chests that they are asleep. Sorry, I couldn't focus long enough to cast that spell earlier. Delora drops her hand and turns to address Walt, Claude, and I. Head towards the entrance hall. The king must be in the central rooms. Urian, Garland, and I will head to the bedchambers and the east wing to look for the king. Or queen. Splitting up is not part of the plan. We don't have much of a choice anymore. If we're going to get the king and queen out of here, we have to improvise. Now go! Claude grabs my hand and jerks his head at Waltz. Let's go. The three of us rush out and into one of the palace hallways. I keep my gaze towards... Hold on. Drink. Oh shit, what the heck? Oh, if I scroll up, it... Oh, wow, I didn't know that one. The three of us rush out and into the palace hallways. I keep my gaze forward while Walt and Claude watch for enemies on either side of us. On our right side! Claude grabs his sword and moves before Walt and I can respond. He dives low toward a soldier, his sword poised straight for a devastating blow. Knights begin to approach us from the left, and I raise my sword, readying myself. Walt snaps his fingers, a flash of light blinding the men in the immediate vicinity, and I use the opportunity to rush the knights in front of me. I grip my teeth as I attack. Most of my blows are lucky. There are too many knights for me to get able to get the upper hand. There's so many of them! Well. If it isn't the most desirable princess. It's Mithras, isn't it? I whip around to attack the man that spoke to me, but he's nowhere to be found. Where is he? Who are you? I wonder. Lucette! I turn and see Claude running towards me, a panicked expression in his face. I take a step forward when a masked man suddenly blocks my path. Oh, Svarg. Who are you? I raise my sword, but the masked man taps his cane on the floor before I can swing. An incredible pressure blasts from the cane. It shoves Claude to the floor and blows me backwards. I hit the wall hard and my vision darkens. Claude! Where am I? Why can't I see anything? My head hurts. Rise and shine, Sleeping Beauty. I jerk upright at the familiar voice. You're the man who knocked me out! The man laughs and I blink as I try to pinpoint the direction of his voice. Did he blindfold me? I command you to take off this blindfold! I don't take orders from the princesses that no one remembers. But I am a gentleman, so I suppose I shall have to heed a lady's request. The blindfold is abruptly pulled off and I flinch at the sudden brightness. Why, hello there, princess. The captor looks at me amused. He wears a crooked grin on his masked face and a cape on his shoulders. Who is he? My eyes wander to the throne and I cannot help but gasp at what I see. The king is strapped to the throne, hands bound, mouth covered. Your Majesty! The king pauses to look at me, his eyes containing a mixture of alarm and confusion. I turn to glare at the masked man. Let him go! No can do, princess, though don't you think he still looks regal sitting on his throne like that? I grit my teeth as I begin to struggle against my bonds. Struggle all you like. You won't get out of those knots anytime soon. Who are you? The masked man drops into an elegant bow. I am called Varg. Varg? What have you done to my father? Me? Nothing. Well, nothing much. I guess gagging a person and tying their hands behind their back counts as something. Are you working for Sir Alcaster? I don't work for anyone. So, he's a mercenary. The door flies open and Alcaster steps in, his face full of anger. Mithros, the fool. How absolutely useless he was. Varg gives a dismissive shrug. He regards me again with his mischievous smile. While I do agree with that wholeheartedly, that man is in the past. Here, in the present, we have someone far more interesting to deal with. Varg gestures at me. I glare at Varg before turning my gaze to Alcaster. I used to think Alcaster was someone to be respected. Not anymore. If it isn't the princess herself. You remember who I am? Once Mithros made the connection, it was just too obvious to be false. Sir Mithros remembers me. Alcaster shifts his gaze to the king. Gennaro, do you not remember this girl as your own blood daughter? My eyes meet the king's, but I see no recognition in his gaze. You can't remember me. I haven't managed to break the curse yet. Why are you doing this to my father? To the kingdom? Everything I do for the kingdom. All successful rulers have run with an iron fist. Fear is the best motivation. A king that is too lenient and does not inspire fear has no business being on the throne. But the people of NGO love their king. Before, I had thought the town people were despicable because they hated me. Now I understand those reasons. They may have judged me as my mother's daughter, which is wrong, but that doesn't mean they should be subject to a regime of fear. Your obligation as a ruler is to rule for the country, not the people. Back when the queen was still alive, this place knew the fear of the witches, which is far more productive. What? Fear motivates. Fear makes a man. Sir Alcaster, you better have a good excuse for interrupting my monologue. Your Highness, there's a beast. What are you blabbering about, fool? A beast! A magical beast is rampaging around the palace. Is this the dead witch's doing? Dead? Witch? No, Dolores fine. She has to be. Out with it. Did Mithros do this? What? I cannot help myself from blurting out the question. Sir Mithros is a witch? He was a witch, but now he's dead. Damn. They just killed him off. I guess. He turns to his knight and demands more information. I am too shocked to hear their words. Sir Mithros, a witch. Impossible. How is that impossible? Out of all the things that has happened so far, how is that the one that's impossible? What of the other palace intruders? We managed to apprehend some of them, but we can't get to everyone with that beast taking us out. Oh my god. It's Claude. Why didn't I make that? I immediately thought when he grows to love someone, or like, I guess he was taking some meds from Parfait in case he turns into a beast. But why did I make that connection? I'm so stupid. I immediately thought when the rose and the thorns, he would die when he falls in love with another person, but I guess that wouldn't make sense because he had the curse with that other woman. Okay, that makes sense then. So if he returns feelings for another person, I guess he turns into a beast. But then like Parfait or Delora would help him with some potions to stop that effect from occurring. We've managed to apprehend some of them, but the beast is taking us out. That damned Mithros. Still pain, even after death. What did you do with Sir Mithros? Did you not hear me, girl? He is dead, killed by my hand. I cut off his head. But why? He was helpful at first. We worked together to achieve our own personal goals. He eyes me cautiously. He wanted you, princess. If Sir Mithras was a witch, that would explain why he still remembered me. What did he want with me? Who knows? It doesn't matter anymore. I gave him my knights to assist him in his search when the witches could not. But in the end, that fool was too power-hungry. You never entered into my plans. You would have been safe, princess, had you just stayed put. But now that you're here, you'll come in handy. Alcaster turns back to the knight who immediately bursts in explanation once more. The beast is moving quickly. We don't know how much longer we can keep it from this room. There is a beast in the palace, and it's Sir Mithras' doing. I'm so confused. And what about the others? Are they okay? Let me go, Alcaster. You're not going anywhere. It sounds like some of your friends are very persistent. They'll be coming for you, and when they get here, I will kill them. You, princess, are going to make excellent bait. You know, I like this turn of events. Kind of amusing. You, tell me what all of this is. Varg looks unmoved by Alcaster's anger. It is Mithras that summoned this beast, is it not? Then you must know what is happening. You're asking me, of all people? Ha! As if I would be able to answer any of your questions. You. Varg! It doesn't matter how many times you say my name, Alcaster. I won't have any answers for you. Sir Alcaster turns to me, his eyes manic. Whether this is Mithras' magic or magic belonging to one of your friends, I'm not going to let it live. Could Delora create a beast out of thin air? Sir Alcaster draws his sword from his sheath and curses under his breath. I squirm, desperate to find some kind of break in my restraints. Varg surprises me, however, by reaching down and cutting the ropes binding my arms with a sword that I recognize. You have my sword! I stand up as quickly as I can and grab the sword from him. That was too easy. I eye Varg warily as his mouth twists into a smirk. What are you doing? Why are you helping me? Help? All I did was cut the ropes. Besides, I'm curious to see what you'll do with that toothpick of sword. He talks like he doesn't care at all what's happening. Don't think about it too much, princess. It's probably a little too much for your small head. I swing the sword towards him, and Varg catches it with his cane. You really think I'm the one you should be fighting? The door creaks and falls off its hinges. The knights stumble back, and I hear screaming as loud footsteps sounds against the hall's tiles. So, what will you do? Run? Hide? Or will the beast kill you too? Damn. Okay, let's see what I can do. My eyes focus on the large figure entering the room. Though I cannot make out the specifics at first, the form grows more distinct the further it moves into the room. Whatever this is, I can't fight it. There's a moment of eerie silence, and then Alcaster yells, and the knights rush forward, attacking the beast as a collective. The beast throws them off with a surprising nimbleness, his rage in every swipe. I dodge away just before a man's body falls on top of me. Over here, beast! Sir Alcaster rushes at the beast. I finally managed to get a clear line of sight to the king, who is still bound and helpless on the throne. The king! I have to get him out of here! I run toward the throne, but someone stops me dead in my tracks. Saving the king really shouldn't be your priority right now. I grit my teeth and swing my sword at Varg, but he easily darts away from me. I would be watching my back. It is then that I notice the beast slowly make its way towards me. What would it be after me? Either I stay here or fend it off, or... Alcaster catches the beast with a broad swipe of his sword, and you two are focused once more on each other. I glance urgently at the king, then at the doors. The beast moves again, and I realize that it is more heading toward me. There's no way I can help the king in all of this mess. I need help. I have to find the others. Hopefully Alcaster will keep this beast busy long enough for me to get them. I turn and bolt toward the room, weaving my way through the chaos of knights as I head toward the door. I glance over my shoulder one last time at the king. His eyes are trained on the battle before him. His hands grip the arms of his chair, but there's nothing he can do. I'm so sorry. I'll be back. But for now, I have to find the others. That's not music. Sure. I dart past the carnage in the room, stepping over and around bodies as they appear. Halfway to the door, the beast lunges past Sir Alcaster, and for a few moments, I think he might be attacking me. Stay back! I hold my sword out in front of me and stand in a defensive position like Claude taught me, but the beast never reaches me. You've ruined everything, beast. Alcaster is suddenly in front of me, waving his sword at the beast. I stumble back towards the door, my heart beating loudly in my chest. I have to get out of here! The beauty and the sinner. This gotta be the last one. Where did the beast come from? Knights immediately rush toward me. I back away as far as I can without re-entering the throne room. Princess, please come quietly, and we'll keep you somewhere safe until all of this dies down. I raise my sword and stand ready when the knights surround me. I order you to stay out of my way. Our apologies, princess, but we are under orders from the king. Alcaster is not the true king. What did he offer you for your loyalty? Wealth? Status? That is none of your concern. One of the knights moves toward me, and I react on instinct, swiping at him. You might want to put that down before you hurt yourself, princess. Do not antagonize me. One knight rushes me, and my blade connects with his shoulder. Another approaches me from behind, and I hit him with the back of my sword. The third moves too fast for me, and I feel his blade cut in my shoulder. I hiss at the pain that sings from the wound. I'm bleeding. The next time he swings, I successfully manage to evade him, but then bump into another knight. I'm surrounded. Just come with us, princess. We don't want to hurt you. No. I feel one of the knight's hands on my shoulder. I attempt to pull away from him, but stop when I hear him scream. The beast stands behind me, eyes narrowed, his mouth gaping wide. A scream escapes my throat. The knights change their focus to attacking the beast, but it easily swipes them away as it advances towards me. It's getting closer. I desperately back up. However, my back soon hits a wall with nowhere else to go. I stand in the defensive position that Cloak taught me. I hold out the sword, then use it to throw back the beast's shadowed claw as it reaches out for me. That stance. It talks! Stay away from me! The beast moves toward me again, and I stumble in place, struggling to hold my ground. A knight throws his sword, the blade impaling itself into the beast's shoulder and giving me an opening. The beast's wounded arm swings into my reach, and I lash out with my sword, managing to draw blood. Princess. Delora would never create a beast like this. This has to be Sir Mithras' doing. Come on, girl. Oh, I guess she doesn't know the fairy tale. like 100%, since her mom burned the books. But come on! An attacking knight catches the beast's attention, and I do not wait. As the beast turns, I raise my sword and manage to slide it deep into the beast's chest. A piercing cry erupts from somewhere deep in its throat, and I stumble back without my sword, which is still stabbed through the creature's heart. The beast collapses to the ground. I stare as it raises a hand to its chest. That motion reminds me so much of... Right. It was all an illusion. A glimmer of light catches my eye. I freeze as I stare down at the ground. Right there, where the blood is already pooling around the sword and the beast's chest, is a rose-shaped locket. The locket I gave to Claude! Why would you? The beast stares up with me with the beast stares up at me with glassy eyes, his mouth barely moving. After a few moments, a low rumbling comes from the beast's throat, and I realize that it is a grisly pained chuckle. Afraid of me. I told you. The beast stares at me unblinking, but its eyes are already beginning to haze over. The way it speaks, and the locket that it has. I look at the locket again, and the blood seeping beneath the surface, and I suddenly realize, if I ever told you the reason, you would hate me, Lucette. Or more accurately, you would be afraid of me. No, 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 no. I kneel down beside the beast. I was wrong. No, 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 no! Claude! I clutch the locket in my chest as I kneel before the beast. Claude, no, please! I lean down to listen to his breathing, but there is nothing but silence. Everything around me goes dark. I killed him! There is the sound of footsteps behind me, but they are mute, unimportant. Claude, I am so sorry. Fuck! I got the bad ending! Oh, why? Why does this always happen? Oh my god! No! I don't mean to get the bad ending! Oh, what? God, this is the saddest fucking thing. So fucking sad. No! God, I'm sweaty too. What the heck? Oh! No, 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 no. I am not ending there. God fucking damn it, man. God damn it. No, no, no. We are starting again. Oh my god. No, wait. Hold on. I think I can load. Yes. Alright. Oh my god. It's terrible. What? Most people don't agree with me. Does it make sense for a witch to cast a good curse on you? I guess it doesn't, does it? Thank you, Princess Lucette. Why is he thanking me? Then we go to the next one. Stand up for Rimple. What? No matter how annoying Rimple is, I don't think he deserves to be abused so much. Besides, karma does not usually last out like this. I moved to stand in front of Rumple. Princess? This is pathetic, Karma. I know you're not in the mood for pleasantries, but there's no reason. There's no excuse to hurt Rumple. Princess, please move. You're acting like a petulant child. Fine. You're right. I wasn't expecting him to so easily admit to a mistake. I turned to Rumple. I was only standing up for you, Rumple, because Karma is annoying me. I looked down at my necklace, but there is no extra piece. So that wasn't a good deed either. Alright, what's happening over here? Next! Wait, what? Oh, nothing, my sweet. I was just showing myself out. Thank you, Princess Lucette. Rumple leaves and I am alone with Karma. He slumps back into his chair. After making sure that he won't do anything rash again, Yurin leaves us. I'm sorry, Princess. It appears I really was being a child. Rumple is harmless, and there was no reason for me to act as uncivilized as I did. What would Father think? Father? Oh, it's nothing, but please, if you would, can you give me some time alone? Fine. I believe. And then she works with Broom. And I go outside, which is the same thing I did. And we see them. Wait, what? Yeah, say something to her. Oh no, it was the wrong one? Shit. Well, it's okay. One mistake shouldn't be too bad. It's the lizard or the chameleon. Tease. He obviously wants to leave, but I cannot help myself. Miss Karma, I do wish you would say something. At the very least, you should thank this girl for her compliment. Oh, no, it's quite alright. Come on, Karma, you're usually the most charming person on these streets. Thank you. He sounds like he's dying now. I cannot help but start laughing again. The small annoyance on Karma's face seems to dissipate completely. Leaving. He takes my hand and curtsies politely to the girl as he pulls me away. Karma, you sound sick. It's run out. The potion. The potion? The potion. Fight back. I have to fight back. Maybe I could still draw people's attention to me. Oh, this one you could choose? I'm gonna go with the eyes again. Try to convince them. You are mistaken, sirs. I happened to overhear your conversation, and assuming I am some imaginary person is unreasonable. The knights look at each other. You know, she has a point. But she was listening on our conversation. That's clearly suspicious. Did you not hear what I just said? I happened to overhear it. Nothing more. You were cloaked, as if you were trying to hide your features. Being out at night without a cloak is a sure way to draw attention to a lady such as myself. You know, she has a point. Stop saying that, man. Then, ma'am, there should be no problem with us taking you back to the palace. If we are mistaken, we'll clear up. Oh, so it doesn't even work. I take a step away from him, and Karma's hand fall on my shoulders. He sighs out. The story better be just as dramatic as mine. Thank you, Lucette. For what? For agreeing to listen. And for what you just did. Stepping away from him? Was I distracting him? And that's the tale of the lost prince. Tell him. Coward. Bite. And she doesn't. Scold. Doesn't matter if something's bothering him. It isn't like him to be so rude. Irritation is no excuse for rudeness. Fine. I apologize. Happy? He looks at me for a few moments, his expression twisted in a defiant scowl, but it doesn't hold long. Moments later, his expression softens, and he looks away, almost in shame. I'm sorry. This apology sounds real, but still, why do I feel so disappointed? Next. Oh, this one's the errand first. Waltz has a good point. We might find something while we do errands, and then we can get them out of the way. Besides, it's not right for me to put Claude above everyone else. I didn't think it was that selfish. Well, I guess it was. We spend a few hours gathering the supplies needed for the tavern, and only then do we start looking for Claude's gift. Talking about the gifts. Oh. I guess I chose all the bad stuff. What the heck? I came to speak with you. I came to give him something, but I also want to speak with him. I haven't seen Claude in a while. Why? Because you've done everything by yourself lately. You came to complain. No, I wanted to check up on you. Princess, can you not read the mood? You could have, at the very least, knocked. In no time at all, Claude is suddenly right in front of me. Close expression is so fierce that I cannot even bring myself to think a way out. The only thing I do is stare at him levelly without getting angry. Without crying. Yep. I want a hug? Huh? Claude looks at me in surprise. He thinks I'm being foolish for making such a request, doesn't he? I shouldn't have said anything. But before I can say anything, Claude takes a step forward and wraps me in his arms. He pulls me towards him, and in those moments of silence, all I can feel is his heartbeat resounding in my chest. I can feel his warmth all around me, and his fingers clasped gently at my back. I feel so strange. My heart is racing, and my knees feel weak. Something like this. He speaks right into my ear. It is surprisingly pleasant feeling. Suddenly, Claude makes a noise of distress as he steps away from me. All the warmness that was pressed against me one moment ago is gone. Karma suddenly stops, eyes wide. He puts his hand on my chest. On his chest, not my chest. My bad there. And takes a step away from me, his fingers clutching at the fabric of his shirt. And this is thank you. And oh, it's I want to talk to you. About what? Claude takes a step back, and I stare as his hand absently moves to what? Claude takes a step back, and I stare as his hand absently moves to his chest. Are you really okay, Claude? I've been perfectly fine this past week. He's lying. He's obviously in pain. Why do you have to keep your pain a secret? Why won't you talk to me? I've told you before that some things are better kept a secret, Princess. Claude sighs out, then leans forward to set a hand on my head. Lucette, promise you'll stay behind me if we don't attack. I promise. And I could never be afraid of you. Oh. Knights immediately rush toward me. Come with us, we won't hurt you. Cannot take them all at once. The beast stands behind me. Its back to me. I stand in its shadow and I realize that if it turned around, it could swat me to the walls just like the rest of its victims. But it's just standing there. Together. The beast says nothing more. Though I still feel on edge, there's something oddly familiar about this. Claude told me once it was better to fight back to back. I will trust you for now, whatever you are. I do not know if it understands me, but I can hope. It seems more like a human than any kind of animal. Princess, get away from the beast. It will... The knight never finishes his sentence as the beast sends him flying through the air. Ah! Why is it helping me? The knights fall in like dominoes to the beast, but manage to remain standing when I strike them with my sword. Even just taking one down is so hard. These men have been trained for years, while I haven't even had the luxury of a year. Out of the corner of my eye, I sense movement. I see a glimmer of silver, and I hear a grunt as a sword is raised into the air. The sword is nowhere reaching me, but... The beast! I aim a kick at the approaching knight before whirling around to look at the beast. The oncoming sword comes closer to the beast's exposed back, and I know the beast will not be able to dodge it in time. Move! I shove past the creature and catch the knight's sword with my own before it can harm the beast. My arms are shaking underneath the strength of the impact between our swords. I feel like my arms are about to give out. Then a flash of light appears, so bright that everyone is temporarily blinded. I stumble back, rubbing at my eyes. From the sounds of it, the beast is continuing to drive back the knights, most of them shouting to each other in retreat. What was that? When I'm finally able to see again, my eyes automatically land on my feet. I stare in shock. Glass slippers? I quickly reach up to my pendant and realize it is no longer there. I completed my 3 good deeds. Oh, sad. It knows my name? I look around and realize that the beast and I are alone. The knights have fled. Did the beast drive them off? I feel a pressure at my back and I realize the beast is touching me. My first instinct is to run, but the words it utters next paralyze me. You okay? Every word sounds breathless and pained, like it takes too much to speak. It is worried about me. I watch in shock as the beast appears to gesture toward my shoes. You did it. I step back warily. What are you? The beast reaches out and I see something glimmering in the palm of its hand. The rose locket! For a few moments, my heart plummets to my stomach and my hands begin to quiver. What did you do to Claude? The beast's shadowed fingers curl over the locket even as he stares at me. Gave me... I gave that locket to Claude! The beast only stares at me for a few moments longer, and then suddenly I realize that his words nothing more than a pained growl do not hold any malice. I gave that locket to you. The beast slowly nods. My grasp on my sword loosens as I stare at him in shock, realization dawning upon me. Claude?
Yes.
So this is your secret. Why would you not tell me? I could have fucking hurt you! Claude has another form, a cursed form, and he never told me. Why? As my mind whirls, I feel everything coming together like the pieces of a puzzle. Secrets are secrets for a reason, princess. You should know that. If I could speak on them, I would, but I cannot. Lucette, I wish I could explain. You would hate me, or more accurately, you would be afraid of me. All of those times Claude was clutching at his chest. You were touching your tattoo so many times before, like you were in pain. The beast growls, and the sound is surprisingly soft, almost like a sigh.
Curse.
Then the tattoo was...
A warning.
The first time I saw that tattoo was a beautiful rose. The second, it had more thorns. When the rose became ensnared in thorns, did he transform? And he always touched this tattoo when he came too close to me. Claude, your curse did not just make others fall in love with you, it stopped you from loving anyone too, didn't it? Ding ding ding. He mentioned that woman before, the one who he thought loved him but didn't. Is it possible she saw him in this form and was terrified of him? If you loved anyone, you would turn into a beast. You loved a woman once, but she only loved you because of your curse. The minute you transformed, she was afraid of you, wasn't she?
Yes.
He sounds so pained. The reason Claude has been trying to hide everything from me is because he's scared I would have feared him. That is why beauty has always been so important to him. But the curse cast upon him makes him both beautiful and a beast.
I wanted you to love me, but no one could love a beast.
His words are dwindling. It almost sounds like he's been suffocating on the inside with how slowly he's speaking. Claude, I could never cared much about your appearances. People have worn masks on their faces their whole life around me. Claude, I take a deep breath and I face him. I will love you, no matter what form you take. I drop my sword to the ground and make my way over to him. I rest my cheek on his chest and wrap my arms around him. I love you. The room is filled with a bright but gentle light. It almost feels like I am bathing in sunlight. For a few moments, I forget my worries. Everything feels blissful and quiet, and my heart feels full. Then moments later, I feel warm arms around my waist. I love you too, Lucette. Wait, he just has his clothes? I thought he'd be butt naked, but... I guess magic. He just turns into a beast. He doesn't rip out of his clothes like the Hulk. When I open my eyes, I still can't see anything, even though I know that the light has faded. That warmth is still there too, but now I feel it immediately on my skin, and I realize that it is because Claude is hugging me. Not as a beast, but as a man. Did I break his curse? No shit, girl! I realize this is the first time Claude has ever touched me for a long period of time without abruptly moving away. Tentatively, I move my hands, feeling the fabric of his shirt and the warmth of him underneath it. Claude? Before I can finish my sentence, my lips are sealed. I feel Claude's lips on mine, only briefly, but it is enough to make me suddenly feel faint. He pulls away from me with a bright, brilliant smile. I've always wanted to do that. Who's that? You're blushing. If I could, I would kiss you again, but we have some urgent things to attend to. The reality of the situation begins to seep back into me. My father, Varg, Alcaster, they're all still in the room, in the throne room. The king! Let's go, Lucette. When Claude and I rush into the throne room, my attention is immediately grabbed by the king calling my name. Lucette! He is still bound to the throne though, his gag removed. A rush of relief floods through me. He's alive! He's alive, and he remembers me. My gaze is drawn to the two men battling at the base of the throne. Their swords are locked together in a stalemate. Alcaster and... Fritz? What has happened here? This is not how you gain power. I knew you'd be a thorn in my side from the moment I concocted this plan. Where is Varg? The only one here is me, and I will... Fritz's concentration slips as his eyes land on me. The opening is small, but it is enough to give Alcaster the opportunity he needs. Watch out! Claude is already running over to help, but even now he is too slow. Alcaster disarms Fritz before driving his sword through Fritz's chest! Did I get the bad ending again? No! Alcaster pulls the sword out of Fritz's chest just fast enough to deflect Claude's attack. As Claude drives Alcaster away from the throne, I rush to where Fritz has collapsed to the ground. His eyes are already growing glassy. Fritz! I lean over to him. There's so much blood! I glare at Alcaster. How could you do this to your own son? Anyone in my way will meet my sword. Blood does not matter. Princess. I turn to Fritz in alarm, tears in my eyes. Fritz, hold on! Don't speak! You need to conserve your energy. Princess, I'm sorry. Fritz, please don't. Please don't speak. I feel bitter eyes stinging my eyes. Or, I feel bitter tears stinging my eyes. I'm sorry. I watch as the life seeps from Fritz's eyes. I put my hand to his chest to feel for a heartbeat, but Fritz's body is still. Fritz! I glance up at the sound to see Claude at the far side of the room, struggling to get to his feet. Lucette, watch out! I turn, but am not fast enough. I see Alcaster's sword raised high in the air, and I know it will reach me before I can pick up my sword. The sword falls from Alcaster's hand as a bright red ribbon of light twines around the hilt and drags it far from reach. I turn and see Delora standing a short distance away, Urian, Garland, and Waltz all standing behind her. I'm afraid your performance as king has been incredibly disappointing. Urian and Garland move together, rushing Alcaster from the same side. I see Claude moving in from the other side, quiet and lethal. Princess! Waltz and Delora rush over to me as the fighting continues. Alcaster has reclaimed his sword and is trying to evade attacks from 3 different swords at once. The king! Waltz nods at me, his gaze lingering on Fritz as his expression becomes solemn. He walks off to the throne while Delora kneels beside me. Delora! Delora shakes her head, and that is all I need to know, that there is nothing more to be done. We will make sure he is properly honored. For now, we need to get you out of here. What about Ophelia? Waiting for us somewhere safe. I constructed a shield around her that will keep her hidden from view and harm until we return to her. Weren't we meant to bring the royal family back to the Martian first? Not when we're missing the king. Besides, plans change when a magical beast starts rampaging in the castle. Princess! I turn to look at Alcaster, who is still somehow managing to scream my name despite the fact he is being quickly overwhelmed. Princess, we have worked together. If you were more like your mother, you would have ruled with grace, beauty, and fear. I flinch back, and Dolores' hands come to rest on my forearms, her grip steadying. That is enough. I look and see the king has stopped to stand beside me. To my surprise, the king rests a gentle hand on my shoulder, his eyes soft as he looks at me. Lucette, we have talked. We have a lot to talk about, but right now, I have something I must do. I nod mutely and watch as the king draws his sword. He makes his way to Alcaster. Urian, Garland, and Claude step back from where they have forced Alcaster to one knee. You are a traitor lacking any honor, Alcaster. You are the one who lacked any honor. A ruler must have the people beneath his thumb. A ruler must lead people, not suffocate them. His oath as a king is to protect them. You are no king, Alcaster. For your crimes, I find you guilty and incapable of rehabilitation. The sentence for the severity of your crimes is death. The king raises his sword, and I turn away before he strikes down his sword. There is no sound or scream to follow. I turn once more that the king has pointed the sword at Alcaster's chest, but has not killed him. You will stay in the prisons until the time for your trials come. Though you might try to refute these claims, you will be tried as a traitor to this kingdom, and then you will be executed. Alcaster's shoulders fall. The glare never leaves his face, not even when guards seize him and drag him from the room. The king immediately sends Urian and Garland out to deal with any knights that are still part of the coup. Delora and Claude help with moving Fritz's body, while Waltz tries his best to fill the king in on the most basic points of our successful operation. Everything has died down a little bit over the last hour, but I still feel overwhelmed. I glance at Waltz and the king, who are still speaking. Every time the king sees me looking at him, he flashes me an uncertain smile before glancing away. I know he wants to speak with me, but I will talk to him later, after I can find Fritz's body out of my mind. It was my fault he died, wasn't it? He saw me and stumbled.
Hey, princess.
What are you doing here?
Here, I thought you'd changed, but you still got some feistiness in you, don't you? Many years ago, when the war ended, we were all faced with a feeling just like this, princess. We had lost so much, and the future seemed so grim. But now it's different. You have a future. You broke your curse, princess. That gives you some kind of hope. In addition, you broke karmas. Memories of Claude's arms around me, of his lips on mine, come flying back to my foggy mind. My heart still feels tight, but it is lighter when I think about him. I wish he was here right now. How did I break Claude's curse? Claude. I don't think I'll ever get used to his real name. Seems like he hasn't told you yet. I guess it's been pretty hectic.
So Claude turned into a beast because he loved me.
Well, I guess I could give you the laydown of his curse.
Stop. Desist, please. Delora has not even started to speak when Claude runs into the room, gasping as if he's been running through the halls. Curse. Are you speaking of my curse? There's no way he heard us talking in the hallway, is there?
Even I feel at a loss for words right now.
I sense that you might be talking about me, Sparkle.
The princess was just asking me about your curse.
Oh, then I was right to come running. And here I was guessing at what you might be talking about, Sparkle. Wink.
Karma, Claude's curse
was based off the tale of the Beauty and the Beast. Claude easily finishes her sentence. Delora holds up her hands as if in surrender.
So eager to steal the spotlight.
Well, you are talking about me after all.
You always told me that your curse was just the beauty's curse, though.
Well, yes, because the other half was a little difficult to explain, wasn't it?
He has a point, though I think he might have been able to save us all some trouble if he hadn't been so secretive about his curse. He must have really been scared about. He really must have been scared that I would shun him.
Allow me to explain, Princess. In the fairy tale, a prince of a kingdom is transformed into a beast because his heart is as cold as ice.
Cold as ice?
Sounds familiar to a certain icy princess, eh? Just trying to lighten the mood.
Cloud sighs. I would call Lucette something far more flattering, like my sweet beloved.
You were talking about your curse?
Oh, right. Well, anyway, the witch who cursed the prince in the tale tells him that he has to learn to love and to be loved before the petals of a rose completely fall off.
A rose?
Yes, she gave him a rose, and he keeps it protected under glass. Some time passes and the rose continues to wither away. A maiden finds the beast and eventually the two fall in love. At the end of the tale, she confesses her love to the beast and he transforms back into a human.
By confessing, I saved you. But his curse was different from the tale.
I know what you're thinking, that my curse was somewhat different, Sparkle.
It was more complicated.
The witch made it so that I was both the beauty and the beast. She said it suited me because I was so vain. The witch constructed a very roundabout curse. Any woman who falls for me falls in love with me as the beauty. But when I transformed into the beast, the enchantment would break and they would become terrified of me. Oh.
I doubt Claude would ever think he would break his curse. The love woman felt for him while he was cursed was always fake. How could that kind of love hold strong when he turned into a beast if he never was true to begin with?
That's a tough one to break.
And then you came along, Princess. I bet he'd just about given up hope and was waiting for you to dispel the curse on your birthday. But now, here you both are. But the Ice Princess in love? What a miracle.
I turn away, embarrassed.
It's not a miracle.
I'm very glad I met you, Lucette. Lady Dolores' words are the truth. I had just about given up hope. I never had any hopes of breaking my curse. I had thought that the only way to fix it would be to have you dispel it on your birthday. But then I came to know you, and
he fell in love. A fairy tale indeed. You started out frowning at everyone and everything. You've come a long way, Princess. Congratulations. You turned out to be a pretty okay princess.
And you turned out to be a pretty okay witch.
Gasp! Do my ears deceive me? A compliment from our little witch? You look surprised, but you'll be the new bearer of our crystal real soon, Princess. I expect good things from you.
Right. I almost forgot about that part. I'll try my best.
Yet another miraculous proclamation from the little witch. Will the surprises never cease?
Before I can snap at Delora again, the king awkwardly interjects, coming to stand next to us with Waltz by his side. Pardon the intrusion.
Oh, not at all, your majesty.
Waltz told me you were cursed. That's why I forgot about you.
Yes.
Even if it was a curse, I feel terrible that such a thing could have ever happened. So, I will make it up to you. We can catch up from where we were many, many years ago. And maybe things can be different.
I'm sorry.
What for?
For being the way I was before. For shunning Ophelia and their children. Oh, Ophelia. Did they bring her back to the Martian?
Ophelia is still here. After the fighting was over, she was shown back to her room. She is still waiting for Rod and Emmeline to return. Now, would you maybe be willing to tell me this story from the beginning? Perhaps I can fill in the gaps, Your Majesty.
Claude?
The king looks startled when he stares at Claude. He blinks, as if he has just noticed his presence. Oh, and you are? Claude elegantly bows before the king. I am Prince Claude of Brugantia. A pleasure to finally meet you, Your Majesty. The lost prince. The king turns to me with a puzzled look.
It's a long story.
Claude surprises me by wrapping an arm around my shoulders and pulling me closer to him. Everyone looks shocked, except for Delora, who looks like she's trying not to laugh. As the princess's lover, I feel it my obligation to help her explain this whole mess. I feel my face getting hotter at Claude's sudden proclamation. All their eyes are now on me, and I feel like suddenly hiding myself.
Only Claude would so bluntly say such a thing.
The king looks more shocked than anything. When does this happen? Well, Your Majesty, I think we had better start at the beginning. We are able to tell the king everything, save for where Varg had disappeared to. No one was sure where he had gone in all of the chaos. The knight's searches for him all ended up in failure. A lot of explaining had to be done, not just to the king, but also to the people at the tavern. As soon as everything had calmed down, Rod and Emmeline finally went back to the palace. I apologized to them as best I could. They all seemed willing to try again with me. And I'm willing to try again too. As for Claude...
So you're going back?
Are you sure you don't want to come to Brugantia with me? Just for my short holiday? I would love nothing more than to introduce to you to my family. Mother would shower you with gifts. Father would, well, tease you probably. Makes jokes frequently, and Llama.
What did you say? Llama? He's a pet llama?
My brother, Llama.
What?
Another acronym. We're Karma and Llama.
Does your father do these things on purpose?
I told you, he likes jokes. My brother's real name is Lance. I was going to bring you back and introduce the two of you. And you could tell my little brother how very charming I am, Sparkle.
Is it my imagination, or is there a glimmer of competition in his eyes? As much as I would like to meet your family,
You have your obligations here.
and you need to let your family know that you're safe and alive.
But the thought of being separated from you. Claude sighs before he leans down and plants a kiss on my forehead. I'll miss you.
You won't be gone that long.
Love. That's not how you're supposed to respond. You're supposed to say, my sweet prince, I will Wait, how is he gonna He's supposed to impersonate Lucettes' voice in his voice. That's too tough. Okay, let me try. You're supposed to say,
My sweet prince, I will miss you too.
that's nowhere close. Good enough.
Fine then, I'll miss you. Maybe.
Claude raises an eyebrow at me, then smiles. I'll be back for your birthday. I love you, Lucette. It has only been a few weeks since Claude left, but I am impatient. The king has been throwing grand dinners every night in preparation for my birthday, but I can hardly concentrate on anyone else when I am thinking of Claude.
I told him about all these smaller birthday celebrations. I thought he would be here for them. My birthday is in a few days, when he will be back.
I have tried to make myself busy, mainly by continuing my sword practices with Urian and Garland. We have both rejoined the Order of Caldera. Every time I am around the knights, I think of Fritz.
I shall bring him some new flowers tomorrow. If Claude would just return already, we could go pay our respects together.
Hello, Lucette, my love, my sunshine, my beautiful betrothed Sparkle. How did I get back here without her noticing?
What the fuck? Claude?
I shake my head and try to gather my thoughts.
First of all, you did not knock. Second, we are not engaged.
We may as well be, don't you think, Sparkle? Wink.
At the very least, knock before you come in.
Still worried I would come in on you in the middle of changing? Would you have minded so terribly?
Yes!
It's worth saying those things to you just to see you blush.
What? Why are you even here?
His arrival is so sudden, and I absolutely had no time to prepare. Claude sighs dramatically. You didn't want me back here.
No, I mean, you did not even write to say you'd be back today. I just wasn't expecting you.
I did say I would be back for your birthday. I am a man of my word. Should I have stayed longer?
No, of course not.
I grumble as Claude walks over to my bed, grinning. He sits down on the bed next to me and wraps an arm around my waist, pulling me closer. I sigh out and lean my head on his shoulder.
It is a startling contrast on what it used to be. Before, if I touched him, he would flinch and turn away from me, because he would turn into a vicious werewolf. Now he was always right next to me.
Claude's whole body seems to relax when I tentatively wrap my arms around him and hug him back. I knew I would miss you, but it was really terrible being away from you.
But you enjoyed the time with your family.
I did, and my brother was very frustrated that I spoke about you almost every hour of the day.
How could you have that much to say about me?
Oh, I felt that I didn't have enough time to list off all of your virtues. I nudge him in the arm, but he just grins at me. A glint of Claude's pocket catches my eye, and I flush proudly when I notice the rose locket. Looking at the locket makes me think back to the night when he transformed back into a prince. Lost in thought, are we?
I was just noticing the locket. You still carry it around with you.
Of course I do. It has become my most valuable possession. He pulls the little locket out and pops it open. I am startled when I see the small sheet paper of my own words on it. My message to him is still there. Claude smiles as he reads the words out loud. A normal rose would have withered, so I offer you this instead, in heartfelt thanks. I say nothing when he turns to look at me. Oh, your cheeks are red again. Your embarrassment is adorable, darling.
I am not embarrassed. I just didn't think he'd keep the words in there, or that they would ever mean so much to him.
Yes, of course. You should have you just have exceptionally rosy cheeks, hmm? He pauses as he closes the locket again and looks at it fondly. I love this locket because it is the first gift you give to me.
He was holding the locket as the beast too. It was half of the reason I recognized him.
I jump as Claude gently taps my nose with his finger. This locket isn't going anywhere anytime soon, I can assure you, Sparkle wink. I smile as he winks at me, wink. Anyway, allow me to pull you back into the present. Since I promised you no more secrets, let me tell you something.
Oh?
Claude looks away from me, his eyes furrowing, and I frown.
I hope it's nothing serious.
I'm nervous about sitting down to dinner with your father tonight.
You're nervous?
I start laughing without meaning to. You're laughing at my pain, princess. He pulls me closer and kisses the top of my head.
You're too flamboyant to be nervous.
I'm confident, princess, not flamboyant. There's a difference.
Right.
Claude's expression grows more solemn. He looks at me seriously, almost sadly. Lucette, I'm still sorry about lying to you. That whole time I made myself to be someone beautiful, someone I wasn't. I believe that I was truly a good person on the inside, and that I deserved good things, even though I was selfish.
He's already apologized to me before, too many times. Claude, you don't have to apologize.
No, that witch was right to curse me. I've always had everything handed to me on a silver platter. When it came to NGL, I believed that if it wasn't going to help break my curse, it wasn't important. Then I met you. At first, I thought I would just have you get on your good side so you could help me dispel my curse. But then, Lucette, I realized I was drawn to your confidence and commitment. But I could never admit that I was in love with you. I was so scared that if I transformed into a beast, you would be scared of me. I would lose my chance of winning your heart. So you see, Princess, I was selfish. I wanted all of you without having to give you all of me. I look down at where our hands are intertwined and I grip his fingers tighter.
I've told you enough times that you've nothing to apologize for. But if you insist on apologizing, maybe you ought to do something to make it up to me.
Those words are out of my lips before I can even think of them. I stop suddenly, trying to ignore the hot flush in my cheeks. Claude looks at me puzzled, and for a few moments I feel triumphant that I caught him off guard. Then the puzzled look fades and Claude just grins at me. Oh my, so forward.
Forward?
I tug my mouth open to apologize when he suddenly grabs my hand and tugs me down to the bed. The instincts Claude taught me in my sword fighting are quickly overwhelmed by my surprise, and in no time at all he has pinned me down on the bed and is looming over me, smiling. Oh, I'm disappointed. Princess, you knew my weakness and you didn't even exploit it there.
Your weakness?
Yes. He leans closer to me and our nose almost touch. My weakness is you, Lucette. He leans down, our lips finally meet. I relax in the contact and my earlier tension melting away as warmth flows towards me. He pulls away and smiles at me. You see, I let my guard down in front of you.
I let my guard down in front of him too. And only him.
This whole time, all I've wanted to do is to be able to touch him like this. His fingers move gently up my arm, and he leans down to kiss me again. The sound of knocking startles us both. A muffled sound comes through the door.
Princess, the king is requesting your presence down in the dining hall. He says your friends have arrived. Princess?
I hear the doorknob begin to turn and quickly speak.
Yes! I will be there in a minute.
I will let him know, Princess.
First the curse, now this. It's as if the world is conspiring against us. He kisses me once more on the forehead before sitting up and running a hand through his hair. I catch the mischievous look in his eyes as I smooth down my ruffled hair. Don't worry, Lucette, we'll just finish this later. I feel my cheeks flush.
You say such perverted things.
Claude chuckles before he stands up and offers his hand. I take it and smile up at him. I love you, Lucette, and now I get to say it as many times as I like.
I love you too, Claude.
I stand up on my toes to plant a quick kiss on his lips before heading to the door.
Let's go, Claude.
Yay! So he has now won over Lucette, and now he has to win over Lucette's father. All right. Oh God, I can't seem to skip this. And I turned off the music, and I can't even go to the menu, so I'm just gonna play some music. Good enough. So that was Karma, or Claude, the beautiful, long-haired, red-haired, green-eyed, sharp-eyed. Did I say beautiful? Anyway, he's a beautiful man, okay? Man, he has a sharp smile too. That is a lot of backers. I think I said that before. Yep, and the... There we go. Yay! Look at that! We got the illustrious Karma, Prince of... I forgot the name. It's a B. Burgantia? Bugantia? Burgantia? Oh god, I forgot if it had an R or not. Anyways, that is 2 routes done. I'm so proud. I'm so proud of us. Oh, next we have Riding Hood, Star, which is Neverland, and Rumpelstiltskin. Oh boy, I can only imagine what these last 3 are. I was completely wrong about Karma because I didn't recognize that there was a beast in the beauty thing because he left that out for a good reason, I guess. He was just afraid. But yeah, that was Cinderella Phenomenon route number 2 complete. We have 3 left, and I'm hoping to finish these routes before I leave the country for vacation. To visit like family and stuff. Anyways, I will see you again in the future. And I hope you have a good one. If you like this, I really don't like saying this, but it does seem to help somewhat. If you like this video, please comment, like, and subscribe. Oh god, I really feel weird saying that, because I hate when YouTubers say it, because it, like, I don't know, I feel like it gives off the wrong message. But yeah, if you did like this video in any way, please consider doing those things, or follow me on Twitch or Twitter and look at my dumb tweets, or I usually tweet whenever I go online on Twitch. Anyway, that's enough advertising for me, and I hope you all have a good one. I look outside, it is now 6:30 a.m. I am not tired because I've been drinking tea all night, and it's off for work for me because it is now Monday morning. Oh my god, it's Monday morning! Oh shit. Well, yeah, hope you have a good start to your week. I'll see you later. Have a good one. Bye, bye, bye.